Hello everyone, this is Princess here, and for today's video we're going to talk about the next area for the 6 Warrior quest, specifically about the new Force and Burst, which is for Yuffie. First off, I'd also like to apologize for this video coming out late. I have been pretty busy with life, and then I would also like to apologize for any background noise that you hear. My neighbors are shooting fireworks right now because it's close to the 4th of July. So if you hear any sort of like loud sounds, that's where it's coming from. So with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so Yuffie's Force weapon is called the Rising Sun, and this will grant the Force time Blitzscale, and her Force partner is going to be Sync. So this has a 100% chance to steal buffs from targets, and then deals a 6-hit AoE Brave split HP attack dealt 4 times, and it also inflicts the debuffs from Yuffie's S2. So going over to the bonus, so it's 20% when breaking or attacking a broken target, 20% when Yuffie breaks or attacks a broken target, and then 5% per debuff on the target when the party member is using any skill, and of course launches and triggers are excluded. Alright, so then we have Yuffie's Burst weapon, which is called the Conformer, and this will grant the finishing burst, which is called All Creation. So this is a 10-hit AoE Brave split HP attack that is dealt twice. The effect is 6 turns, and what it does is it will change her HP attack into Landscaper, and what that is basically, so if we look over here, I accidentally put it on the top. It's a 1-hit AoE Brave full HP attack that is dealt 9 times, and then raises Brave based on damage dealt after each attack except for the last one, and it also extends the duration of active buffs by 1 turn. So then going to the burst effect over here, so the effect is 6 turns. Any inflicted debuffs will not decrease, in other words they don't go down. It's kind of like Kurosame's Hyodo debuff. When his effect is active, the stacks don't go down, and the party will get a Brave damage cap up and a max Brave cap up, which will multiply based on the debuffs present. Okay, so now for the boss. So you are going to be fighting an Orco Marino, which is basically just this Giganto type enemy, and you're also going to be fighting the Coworld Assassin. You've seen these before, they were in Selphie's Lost Chapter. So hold on a second. So yeah, here it is, just right over here. So the thing about both of the bosses is that they can dispel debuffs, including frames, and when their HP is below 50%, they can dispel buffs when their HP is below 50%, and the frog can also heal its HP as well. So for the frog, it will have the skill called the Crystal is Lit, where it will dispel debuffs, and this is used at the start and then below 70% HP. To dispel this, you need to have 6 or more unframed debuffs, and it will also use different attacks depending on its force gauge. So it will grant itself buffs and inflict guaranteed debuffs. Raijin's Call is going to help out with that. And then it will use Bubble Shot Plus, which is a guaranteed attack that will reduce buffs by 5 turns, but it is avoidable if the boss has 16 or more debuffs. Okay, so going to the Coworld, so it will have this attack called Dead End. This is basically insta-kill. It can store its Brave, where it raises its Brave to max. You can't force break it. It's going to have Brave damage reduction, and it will raise its defense. If you break it, then it's going to calm down. So if you have someone that can instantly just drop its Brave to 0, so if you have someone like Kurosame or Iris, they're definitely going to help out with that. And it's used below 80 and then 30% of HP. So now moving on to the boss's force gauge. So for its weakness, you want to use a ranged force on an enemy who has 6 or more non-framed debuffs. So it's not too specific, but you are definitely going to need debuffs. For the gauge, so it's 4% whenever your party acts. And for the whole fight, they will raise their attack, defense, and initial Brave by 50%, and their speed by 30%. And then they have a post-turn Brave regen based on their initial Brave. And then the frog will just buff itself and inflict debuffs on your team. And then at 70%, that's when the frog will use Bubble Shot Plus. That's where you want to make sure you have debuffs on it. So the main game for this is definitely debuffs, and it has to be non-framed. So you can tell it's definitely catered to Yuffie. So then for their force time, the boss is going to use Bubble Shot Plus. It's a guaranteed Brave attack that will then put into force time for 20 turns. But if the main boss doesn't have 8 or more debuffs, it's going to use Bubble Shot Plus, so 4 pluses. And it's going to inflict confusion on your party for 5 turns. So key thing, make sure you have 8 or more debuffs. And then for the force time, so the frog will restore its own HP and then delay party members by 2 turns. If the main boss is dead, then the co-whirl will just delay you by 2 turns. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I can't really show off Yuffie's force for this, so I'm going to have to end the video right here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you'll be pulling for Yuffie or for Yuri. And again, I apologize if the fireworks sounds distracting. But I will see you all in my next video.